Hello Pisces, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Pisces for the next 3 months. So this will cover the period between July, August, and September of 2022. If you're more of a business person, this would be Q3 or quarter 3 of the year. With that said, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate. Drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you Pisces. Now I am using the Gilded Tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot, and the Higher Self Affirmation deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. Now, it is still the case that less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. And so if you do watch regularly and you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead, make sure everything is in view here. Go ahead and set this up for you. All right, take 3 of these affirmation cards as well. And all right, energy on the bottom. You have the King of Cups. So Pisces, this could be your energy. Doesn't matter what gender you are. These are just masculine and feminine energies here in the tarot, just a friendly reminder. So this could certainly be your energy showing up. It's typically Cancer, but it can be any water sign. On a different level, the King of Cups is really somebody who takes a level-headed approach to solving problems in their life. They are still as water. They are calm as water. And this is this idea of, like, through adversity, through challenges, through whatever's going on externally, being able to sort of come back to the self and make a calm, level-headed decision. And so, yeah, the King of Cups can also be somebody who is a good partner in the tarot. And so some of you may have that quality about you, or you may be looking for somebody who has that quality about them. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what else this may reveal here for you over the next 3 months. But let me make sure we're all set up, as you know I like to do. And all right, so in the overall message here, you have the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands is somebody who's really standing their ground. Who just had this? Sagittarius just had this. If you are interested in a Sagittarius, or you have Sagittarius in your chart, you may want to go ahead and take a look at that. But yeah, there's similarities here. But anyway, the 7 of Wands is, yeah, it's about standing your ground. And this person is not only standing their ground, but they're standing their ground in the face of competition. Okay, you can see that these people have their wands pointed at them and they're coming after them. And so when you get this, it is a sign potentially that there is competition around you. The thing about competition is it's a very interesting energy in that competition propels us to do amazing things in life, but it also brings out the worst in us as humans. And so there's this kind of fine line that you need to sort of strike a balance with when you get the 7 of Wands. But really, this could just be you kind of defending yourself. You may have like a list of non-negotiables. For whatever reason, that phrase is coming into my mind. Like, you may have a list of non-negotiables. I almost feel like some of you are very interested in partnership, but there's this strange message of, like, there's something that's disconnected here. It's almost like some of you it's like there's some healing here that's showing up on the board. And it's like there's some healing here. And I feel like this is, like, you're trying to heal. There's this, like, balance, this word, like, balancing act, or like this fine line or striking a balance is coming into my mind, where it's like, you're looking to heal something, but you're also looking for love. And you can, I'm not here to say that you can't have both. You can absolutely do both. But it's almost like this may be a challenge. Now, this won't just be about love for some of you. This will also be about just a general conflict. The way that you are kind of mediating conflicts in your life here over the next 3 months is very important. It's very, very important. And it's almost like some of you are being put to the test. In July, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles, and you have the Tower. All right, so Page of Swords, something that's maybe annoying you, something or someone that's maybe annoying you, could be an air sign. This could also be disappointing news, it could be news of delay, but on a much more happy or a much more positive note, the Page of Swords can just indicate that you are a thoughtful person. And Pisces, you are taking a thoughtful approach to a problem, and you're taking a thoughtful approach to your life. And I think that certainly could also be the case here. And this is definitely triggering something for me as the reader here, because we see you standing your ground and being thoughtful in doing that, being thoughtful in sticking up for yourself here. You know, the word or the phrase list of non-negotiables keeps coming into your mind. It's almost like some of you are like, okay, it's almost like you're resurfacing. It's like, okay, like I'm ready to start dating again. Like maybe I'm going to download the apps. Maybe I'm going to go like involve myself in a community to like meet people or whatever. But this time around, you have your list of non-negotiables prepared. You have your list of non-negotiables prepared. And this can be applied, by the way, to like anything in your life, not just love, because not everybody comes to my readings for love. And what I would say is do not like waver. I would say do not waver from that list. In this case, I mean, there's always a little bit of room for flexibility, but it's like I'm feeling this message of you really sticking to something. Like, okay, I really want somebody who has experience in, handling situations, like the King of Cups. Like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. I'm not going to settle for anything less, right? Just as an example. You have the Tower here as well. Could be a shock or surprise here coming in for you. There could be some sort of challenging news that comes in July. It's not doom and gloom. Like, okay, I do not like reading tarot as, like, I do not like fear casting and putting fear out in my tarot cards. So really the Tower can just talk about a surprise. It can talk about a situation in your life that happens and catches you off guard, or just asks you to sort of, kind of hunker down and work through something. The Tower really, though, is a blessing in disguise because it does provide you with a way out. The Tower suggests that maybe the situation that you find yourself in is not exactly a stable situation, and what the Tower does is it collapses that situation down and allows you to start over from scratch. It allows you to start over brand new, which is really a blessing. And so just something to consider. You have the Six of Pentacles. You're recognizing here in July that you can't always give, right? There's reciprocation. There's reciprocity, actually, is what I'm trying, not reciprocation. Reciprocity is the word that I'm looking for. There's reciprocity here that is very important for you. In the month of August, you have the Six of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands, and you have the Moon. So the Six of Cups is something from the past kind of resurfacing here. This can represent memories of love or past memories coming back in. It's almost like some of you, what am I seeing here? It's almost like I'm seeing a TV screen and in my mind, like one of those old school TV screens, like the box ones, the ones that you can't even buy anymore. And it's like things are like sliding through the TV. It's like slides are going through the TV. And it's almost like some of you are sliding through memories here. Like it's like, you're like, okay, that's a memory, that's a memory, that's a memory. And it's like some of you are like kind of working through something here that may have been actually subconsciously repressed because you have the Moon. The Moon represents your subconscious. And the lower row, coincidentally, in this spread here is the row of your subconscious, okay? I'm going to recommend that you really take note of dreams, of intuitive messages at this time. The dream realm in particular is where we dump our subconscious thoughts, or it's like the rendering of our subconscious. It's interesting. Dreams are also interesting because I've had a dream log for over a year now. I've been logging my dream every morning for over a year. And when you do that, you start to remember more, or you start to remember your dream more frequently. And it's interesting because sometimes dreams can be divination, I've found, in that they predict something, but also dreams can just be your subconscious rendering something out that you need to work through, if that makes sense. And so I would really recommend that you create a journaling habit for yourself, particularly around dreams, because then you'll start to sort of be able to identify different types of dreams, such as like, okay, is this dream going to predict something in my life, or is this dream sort of just telling me that that there's something from the past I need to work through, right? Divination versus kind of just guidance. Um, and yeah, I feel like a very strong message for you coming forward in that area. Now, in the month of September here, you have the Four of Swords, you have the Judgment card, and you have the Three of Swords. So in the corners, okay, you have this news that's maybe a little bit challenging or disappointing, especially when combined with the Tower. And then in these corners, you have this Four of Swords, which is healing, and you also have the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak. Okay, and if you take a look at these two cards together, you can see that the Three of Swords card is on the Four of Swords card. You can see the Three of Swords is on the banner above this person. They are healing from the heartbreak of the Three of Swords, okay? And so with that, what does this suggest to me? Well, to me, I don't feel like this situation is something that you are going to sit in for too long. I feel like if you are being thrown a sort of curveball here, or if there's a wrench being thrown, or a roadblock, I'm kind of trying to come up with phrases here, a roadblock being put in your way, I don't think that you're going to stay in the energy of heartbreak and disappointment too long, okay? I think you're going to heal. And I also think that this is going to be a spiritual experience because you have this idea of the Judgment card. This is the final test, okay? This is the final boss for you here when you have the Judgment card. If you defeat the Judgment card, you get to the world. You defeat the boss, you win the game, right? Just metaphorically speaking here. And so when you have this Judgment card, how do you defeat the final boss, Pisces? Well, you have to look within yourself. The Judgment card asks you to get real with yourself. Okay, this is something that is your experience. Okay, it's your journey that you are on. And for you, I don't feel like it's necessarily looking towards the external world at this time. For you, it's being honest and being honest with yourself. And I will use the word sort of doing some self-criticism. Not being overly critical in that you are being like overly pessimistic. These are different things, by the way. These are just different things. Not being like so critical that it's holding you back, but being able to identify something that you know is not, that you're doing that is not supporting your happiness or supporting where you're going, being that type of self-critic and using that self-criticism to improve. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. Okay, so you have choose love. It's healing, human, holy. Choose love. I choose the healing energy of love. So this is, I feel like, platonic love. Okay, this is, I feel like, universal love. I feel like love from the universe, from your spirit guides, from your spirit team, and for yourself. Okay, self-love here. Oneness. I experience myself in connection with all life. We are all echoes of the same song. Isn't that interesting? There's definitely spiritual awakening for some Pisces people, and I will get to that. I will expand on that in a moment here, but you also have just because you could doesn't mean you should. Discernment. I know what to pick up and what to let go. Man, isn't that amazing advice? That is advice that I can personally take myself. I'm not a Pisces, but this is definitely advice that I feel like a lot of us would be like grateful to have, right? Just because you could doesn't mean you should. Sometimes we need to know what to pick up and what to let go. I love that. There's nothing else that I need to say here. Now, in terms of a spiritual awakening, you actually have my combination of a spiritual awakening. I didn't bring this up before, but the Judgment card and the Tower, a shock or a sudden situation happening with this idea of the Judgment card, sort of the final boss or the final test. Let's see what else we get. You have the King of Pentacles. You have the Devil. You have the Strength card. You have the Page of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Tower. Wow. So no question in my mind, now that the Tower is coming in this row as well with the Judgment card, it's almost like, gosh, what does a spiritual awakening look like? Well, it looks different for everybody, right? For me, there was like I'm not going to talk about myself the entire time, but there was like a particular life event that happened for me that just blew open my spiritual doors, if you will. And it just like made me a much more spiritual person. It actually made me a spiritual person. For you, this may be something about love. Okay. For you, this may be something about love. And it's hard for me to say as the reader whether this is about needing to have self-love or like actually a relationship. There's also this energy of imperfection. If you take a look at the card, I think that this is by design, but there's like a purposeful imperfection here. There's like a crease in the card. Yeah, I'm certain that this is by design. And it's almost like when I was looking at it, I kind of wanted to fix it. And it's like some things you just have to allow to be a little bit imperfect, right? You can't be perfect with everything, right? And striving for perfection is going to, more times than not, I think, lead to disappointment. Perfectionism will hold us back many times in life. And so it's almost like this is something that's coming forward for you in like a relationship or in the areas of like love generally, whether like that is love from others, love for yourself, whatever the case may be. You have this King of Pentacles, Page of Swords. It's almost like you have the Page of Swords twice. There is some disappointment here, maybe from a person who maybe has earth-like qualities about them, or just you have that with the King of Pentacles, which could be somebody who's maybe successful in life or has the energy of success or something. Or some of you are maybe just taking like a thoughtful approach to what makes me successful, right? And what is my definition of success? And that may be something that you're starting here over the next quarter, over the next 3 months. You have the Devil and the Two of Wands, perfectionism with the Devil, right? The Devil can bring around issues of perfectionism and addiction go hand in hand, and the Devil is a card of potentially addictions. And it's like, I'm really like liking this card for you here. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. What should you pick up and what should you put down, or what should you let go of here over the next 3 months, Pisces? It's almost like this card is like the entire reading. You also have the Strength card and the Tower. Look, you can't prepare for Tower moments, right? Tower moments just are. Tower moments can be shocking, and it's like we can't really prepare for those, so we just have to allow whatever happens to happen and trust ourselves to be able to handle the challenges or the Tower moments that may be put on our path, and know that there's probably a higher divine reason for that. So be strong as you have the Strength card, and I do feel like you will work through whatever situation that you were looking to heal as it relates to love in this next 3 months. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.